Alright, so the first thing you want to do, as in anything, is you want to make sure you're nice and warmed up. So what I like to do is some nice shoulder curls, maybe stretch out that neck. And what is most important is to make sure you stretch out your wrists, because your wrists, believe it or not, are one of the main focuses of doing a handstand. Okay, so now that we're nice and warmed up, one of the first things I want to talk to you guys about is your form. It's very, very important that you want to focus on staying tight. You want to round your upper shoulders, and you almost want to push your upper back out. You want to think about pushing your arms as far away from you as you can. In most forms of dance, it's a huge no-no to have shoulders up. You want to always elongate, but for a handstand, it's the exact opposite. You want to push onto those hands as far away as you possibly can. Now, this position is often what we call hollow, and that is a rounded out spine, perfectly straight back, tucked in stomach muscles, clenched bottom and legs as tight as you possibly can. And you want to imagine this upside down. It's also important to think about the position of your hands. For a gymnast, it is vital that they have their hands perfectly parallel, facing directly forwards, not turned out, not turned in. For the sake of those who aren't gymnasts, such as a dancer or just anybody in general, a break dancer or anything, it's okay not to have your hands perfectly parallel. For a gymnast, it's more because a handstand is the basis of everything they do, from a handspring to the parallel bars to everything like that. So they need to have their hands perfectly straight. But if you're not doing that kind of tumbling and everyday craziness, it's okay to have your hands a little bit turned out. With that saying, not all the way out, but a little bit. Another important factor in holding a handstand is your fingertips. You need to learn to fight with those fingertips. So when you do it, you almost want to have your hands a little bit of give on the floor, because you're going to be pushing with those fingertips to fight. If you're feeling like you're falling over, you need to pull up and push with those fingertips. When you're in the actual handstand, you need to think about squeezing everything. You want to squeeze your butt, your stomach muscles, your arms. You're pushing as far away as you can, and you're squeezing those fingertips. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Right between your fingertips. You're not looking side to side. You're not looking straight behind you. You're looking right at your fingertips, because then you can focus on them and you can actually watch yourself resisting. And when you're looking at your hands, you're also focusing on pushing up, straight up. You do not want an arched back. You don't want your butt sticking out. Nothing. Straight up. And this takes a really long time. Don't get frustrated. Learning how to hold a proper handstand takes a lot of practice. One thing that's very, very important when you're doing a handstand is the actual getting into a handstand. So many people cut themselves off. That being, they go into a handstand, see I'm pushing this leg, and they place their hands right near their feet. You do not want to do that. You want to step into it and elongate and use this back leg to kick yourself up. So, I'm going to show you improper, and then I'm going to show you proper. So, you're going to start stretching up, and improper would be stepping into it and placing your hands here and cutting yourself off. That doesn't give you enough leverage to get up, nor does it give you enough room to get your hands properly placed. So, a proper kick up into a handstand would be reaching out as far as you can. Reaching up. Like so. You want to make sure you give yourself enough room. For me, I am 5'10". I've given myself about 4 or 5 feet kicking up to the wall. I have my hands facing towards the wall, about 1 inch away, and my butt is not on the wall, just my toes. Without actually kicking up into the handstand, you want to place your hands against the wall. So, for me, that's about a good length. So I would say from my feet, about almost 4 to 5 feet against the wall. So I'm going to kick up, and I have my hands placed about an inch or two from the wall, and my butt is not on the wall at all. And I'm pushing up as far as possible. And a good trick with the wall is you can start pulling your feet away from the wall and using that wall just as like a tool. So when you feel like you're going to fall over, just let your feet touch the wall. So the stronger you get with your handstands, the longer you'll be able to balance without your feet touching the wall. Once you get comfortable with the wall, then you can start doing it on your own. And I just want to remind you again that it takes practice, it takes a while. And don't be afraid to step with your hands. If you feel like you're falling over, move that hand to help catch you. Walking, handstand walking is a whole other video that I will do. But for this, having to kind of feel around with your hands is okay. With enough practice, you will be able to kick up into a handstand and hold it.